Hello everyone, welcome to my review of the Suicide Squad Isekai. The studio behind this was Wit Studio, who is known for the Go Get music video, and Star Fox Zero promotion video. I like how I don't even know them from any animes, it's just, well, Callie, because Callie is Callie, and Nintendo. But hey, at least have known their work from somewhere. The director is Aaron Osadai, who did work for Jujutsu Kaisen episodes 1, 3, 6, 11, 15, 21, and 24. The producer is Shinra Tasawoka, who did publicity for High School DxD. Tapai Nagasaki, who is the author of Re:Zero, and Yuji Ahara, who also worked on Re:Zero above anime episodes 14, 15, 29 through 21, all the whiles of the Isekai of the Suicide Squad variety. The music is done by Kenchiro Shinharu, who did work for Re:Zero, Firefoot, Cells at Woke, and Comic Ghost. The opening is Another World, but Tom Lasso Hotai. The ending is Go Gas by Mario Karaoke. Easily the best ending ever made, ever concocted. No bias whatsoever, ignoring all the Callie plushies to the side that you cannot see. If they're off screen, it doesn't exist. And I like to go over the voice cast real quick and go over any other words I know them from. Harley Quinn is played by Anna Nakase, who played Rico in Jujutsu Kaisen. Clayface is played by Jun Fukuyama, who also played Tone Husky in the Naruto series. I was tripped by the... I can picture how it's pronounced, but I cannot say it for whatever reason. The last name of the space interdimension aliens. But he also plays Teruteru and Danganronpa, Kazuma for Noragami, and Joker for Persona 5. King Shark is played by Subaru Kamura, who played Kid in Boruto, Ari in Jujutsu Kaisen, Kurosaki and Yuki of Reigns, and Kudo and Go Watch. Deadshot is played by Wengo Yamaguchi, who also played Koha in Boruto, and Flying Man, Gillen, Junior Centipede, Mo Kan, and Supon in One Punch Man. And lastly, Peacemaker is played by Tank Hito Koyashu, who played Tasuka in Boruto, Rise of Phoenix in High School DxD, Roswell in Re:Zero, Tanjiro in Jujutsu Kaisen, Akana and Yu-Gi-Oh! Do Monsters, and Sartorius in GX. Which, by the time I'm recording, it just announced that he's gonna appear on a live stream as Sartorius for the new set, so that makes me think we're gonna get Kana support. It hasn't been announced yet, but I wanted Kana support to be crack. And if it is, if this is a record of it, I'd be happy. If it's not, doesn't surprise me. But I want it to be crack so badly. I want the sentence Akano Foes T0 deck to be a thing. Maybe not really, but still, I would find it funny at the very least. But moving on to the actual review. Episode 1. Harley is asking people that she and the Joker had kidnapped, do they want to go to a new world? Which, by the way, they don't mean in a medical full sense. They actually mean to another world. That's very clear by the end of the series. Because this is a whole monologue that we get to with Joker's rambling about, going to another world, people want to be free from their lives, blah 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 blah. And at the end of the series, Joker's like, well, Harley, did you enjoy this new world? Was it enough for you? It is not a metaphor. It literally means to get an isekai. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced any names along the way, too. I don't think anything will happen in this review, but I guess the voice actors probably definitely say some names. Amanda Waller is trying to open a poem. The police and the kidnapped people blew up as they tried to enter the building. Joker is playing a piano to drive a car as he talks about a new world and how people feel trapped and want to escape. They're just afraid to take the first step, etc., etc., etc. But I mean, Joker playing the piano to drive a car is very Joker-like, and I like that. While I was using someone's powers to open the gate, Holly goes to grab a drink at a bar, but the bar was a trap. The Joker gets away.
Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. The Batmobile lost the wheel cause the Joker got away.
Holly has to fight Katana and gets beaten after a fun fight. The animation of the show is great. Well, let's just get that out of the way. The animation of the show, if nothing else, is great. Waller got her portal open as Holly gets arrested. So my question is, because Amanda Waller, every iteration I know, doesn't do anything unless she has a reason. Sure, if it's a reason why she wants to go to another world, which is resources, she wants the resources. But how did she know this existed in the first place? That's my question. Should I be thinking about that? Probably not. I'm very curious. I mean, you can argue it's not a point. Fair enough in the grand scheme of things, but, like, I'm still curious. So 6 months later, Waller forces Holly into the Suicide Squad, tax force acts, whatever you want to call it, as she's watching the Joker 2019, played by Watts. And she also has the Joker plushie in her, so we meet more of a squad. Clayface, who acts more like the Harley Quinn version, with being a overplayed actor type. Deadshot is like what you expect after Will Smith played him, because that's how they're trying to have synergy though with that, which is not a bad thing, but it ain't like reinventing the Deadshot character wheel. If that's what you're looking for in this show, you're not gonna get. But again, what we get isn't bad. And Peacemaker, who doesn't act like John Cena, because John Cena plays John Cena in everything, and I only know Peacemaker from James Gunn's Suicide Squad. So, aka I really don't know Peacemaker, because again, John Cena plays John Cena in everything. We made Ancient Elm. Waller's here to explain things. And the complete dimension begin with 2 sentences about lovely. The mission is to be a bridge between worlds and get resources from the whole world. There's bombs in everyone's neck that can trigger or don't return to the world point. In 72 hours, boom boom, head goes flying off, splat all over the wall. Waller mentions Deadshot's star, which is a poem for Leo, but Elm only had 3 days left to retirement. As the chopper crashed, and amazingly the squad is on home. The squad is being attacked by Oaks. King Shark was in the back of a chopper, and he's the dumb one. I hate when people are just the dumb one. I hate the dumb one archetypes. I'm sorry. They're not that entertaining to me. But anyways, we give a name card saying who is who. The squad beats the Oaks, knights come by, but there's a language barrier. Clayface, this is like an Isekai, like Alice in Wonderland. Put a pin in that for like 2 seconds. The squad got arrested. We see a different squad in the new world with Katana, but Katana has different icons washed through when this was airing. I noticed that on my second, which I like. There's foreshadowing, and I do appreciate that. I would give this show credit. This episode's fun. It gets you interested in. Well, hold on. Let me break this down before I say that. So, the purpose of the show, there's 2 purposes that I've seen. 2 of probably many purposes of the show is to get people who like anime into DC and people who like DC into anime. Now, let's start with a simple one. For people who like anime who aren't into DC, I think a good best starting point would be the 3 pillars of DC: Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get started anywhere you like. You can pick up any comic book, watch any show, etc., etc. A starting point to DC Comics, as long as it's not like volume 20 in an ongoing 50 volume arc, you'd be fine. Because that's what makes comics kind of special. And in the sense of adaptations of comics is you can start wherever you want. You might have to do some research about certain things going on and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you can start anywhere. And so, an anime about the Suicide Squad, it's fine. Like, it ain't like you're gonna be forever confused or ruined if you start off here. It's a fine choice. Now, for the opposite to get DC fans into anime. Isekai, I think, is a way poor choice. Because for the Isekai genre in Japan and anime, it's all in medieval times. Always. Like 99.9%, if you pick up an Isekai, is in, like, medieval times. Well, your vending machine, slime, die a lot. I only seen one of those, but still, the point being is, DC is a very magical world. You got characters like Dr. Fate, Zatanna, and some characters on a whole different level of crack, like for fifth dimensional imps, like Mr. Spinlick, Batmite, and Larry. Well, Larry is full in 8th, 9th dimension, but besides the point is, DC's a very magical world. Like, legitimately, one of Superman's only weaknesses is, well, one of his weaknesses is magic. And there's gods, new gods, old gods, etc., etc. So the point is that you're taking characters into a world where it's like, oh my god, there's magic and stuff, but they have magic in the DC world. A lot of it. And also, too, more different, because they go to different time periods and different ideals of worlds. They ain't just always, like, medieval times, like that era, or that ideal of another world. So when it's like Alice in Wonderland, guess what? That is more interesting of a world than the Suicide Isekai proposed. Fuck it. They even did Batman Ninja a few years ago. I haven't seen it. But the point is to introduce DC fans to Isekais. It's not like DC hasn't done Isekais before. Freaking Coder Sandals have wandered into the DC world and stuff like that. So, like, all characters have come into the DC world as, like, Isekai type shit too. Yes, there's been like 3 volumes of Coder Sandals in the DC universe. Fun fact. But the point is, I don't know how much a DC fan would be like, oh my god, I need to watch more anime based off of this show. Because it really doesn't have much to offer in terms of grabbing someone in as, like, the premise of this. I think if it went a bit of, like, literally anywhere else. And maybe this is saying this as a fatigue Isekai fan, in terms of everything being in the same location. But I might be coming from it. Maybe someone with fresh eyes won't have this problem, but I feel like picking a land when the main gimmick is, like, magic, basically, I would say, isn't the best idea to make it feel different from any, like, DC thing. This is the main point. And I feel like I rambled about that a bit too long, but I feel like you'll be more successful turning people who like anime into DC fans rather than DC fans into anime fans, if that makes sense. I feel like one is a much more uphill battle. But moving on to episode 2. The town near the castle is Poem, the knights are wooed to the adventures. The queen wants the squad to warn jail, as the princess feels a connection to Holly. Which also, side note, there's nothing against this show at all, but I find it weird that we have moved away from Joker and Holly, because we see that relationship as problematic, which is for part of a relationship. You're not supposed to look up to it, but besides the point is that they try to make Holly into, like, this role model for people to look up to, but she isn't the greatest role model at all. So it feels weird to me a bit, but that's a whole different topic that I'm not really gonna dive into too much in this review, because again, that is a whole different topic. But I thought about doing my second rewatch, especially after I haven't seen Joker fully. I do, but after I heard a lot about that movie, which I'm probably am gonna do a review on it, it just feels so weird. But again, moving along. The princess has no backbone, but cares about the citizens. We give Holly falling in love with Joker backstory. Peacemaker's keeping track of the time they have left. Clayface escapes, but plans on leaving the rest of the squad behind so they'll let him out. Clayface got a magic chains put on him so he can't use his powers. The squad gets in a fight with Oaks because they don't understand each other, and Holly's eating their food. The guards use wands to stop the squad, and they meet Rick Flag and Venuso. The squad is told that they are the second squad. King Chalk beats down the Zelda. Holly seems to have magical powers. Clayface is freed from the cuffs and starts a prison break. I am not a fan of rainbow colors they use during the Princess Break. I found it more obnoxious than artsy, personally. The head knight, Ciel, is going to see the squad on the princess request and sees the prison break. This episode is fine, but the show's pacing, I'm gonna talk this now, is very slow. I feel like this was a maybe 2.5 hour movie, but was stretched into 10 episodes. Because it repeats itself a lot in the 10 episodes. We get to that a bit more later on, but it's a cycle of the same thing for like most of the show. And it's 10 episodes. And it kills me because they're set up for season 2. And it's like, you guys could have done a bit more with the time you were given than what you did. But, different topic. And also, too, I like to talk about the designs for a bit. Okay, let's one them down. Holly, honestly, the cutest Holly I've ever seen. Clayface, his human form is fine, very Michael Jackson-y, but I think his clay form doesn't look like clay, it looks more like mud. There's a difference. King Shark, he's fine, it's exactly like a giant shark. I mean, his green eyes kind of threw me off for a bit, but I got used to it. Deadshot is also fine, but I feel like they couldn't get his face consistent. Like, especially after episode 5, and during episode 5, like, it's not like a different style thing, because, like, Clayface's face is very consistent, and while Deadshot's isn't. And sometimes, you know, like, Clayface and Rick Flagg's face change due to the, style changing. But, like, I feel like Deadshot's face changes so much more. I don't know why. Oh, maybe that's why that specifically stood out to me. Maybe it's an equal amount of changing. But, like, yes, I feel like they couldn't get his face correct. And then Peacemaker is exactly like the Suicide Squad movie. And Rick Flagg's design is fine. And in terms of personalities, they're very one note, very much so. They have a chance for death, but they never take it. And Holly's the main focus, because it's the Harley Quinn show always. Because they want to promote her because they know they're a popular character. So, they're very much baking on Harley on this show. And if you don't like Holly in this show, well, you know, tough tips on that one. But I do like Holly in this show. She feels very Deadpool-y in this show. Do with that as you will. But, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but, like, I don't know. I feel like more and more characters are kind of just becoming, like, the smart aleck Rambo, especially because of the MCU. So I would prefer to see something different, but because again, I feel like that is very oversaturated in the superhero genre right now in terms of media. But it's fine. Moving on to episode 4. The squad and the knight have a fight because they don't understand each other. Communication is key, folks. King Shark can heal fast because he got his soul ripped out of his stomach and he can heal. Flag is trying to communicate, saying whatever language that medieval language, Middle Earth language, whatever it is. Well, he alone in prison, but he just insults Ciel. But we got to see the Queen anyway, so it's fine. The Queen made it so they can understand each other, which makes sense. It makes sense, but like the first major hope of the squad face is just got rid of like that, but then have to bother trying to like figure out a way to communicate. So I mean, yes, it makes sense why it happened, and I get it, you don't want to waste time, even though you do waste time in this anime, but you don't want to waste time with them trying to figure out a solution to communication. But like, it would be nice to see them overcoming an obstacle like that instead of something that's always solved by violence. Just saying. But anyways, Flag tells the Queen that the first squad is helping the Empire that her kingdom is in war with. Flag is being held captive until the squad proves himself in battle. The squad got the stuff from the chopper, and we get a suit-up scene. This one doesn't have Eminem in the background.
What?
The squad has to take back a foot from some beastmen. Holly realized the beastmen are brainwashed because she's like, some of these guys are fine despite all the injuries that they have. Clayface's powers have been upgraded this world to change, like he'd be able to change anything with clay in it. And they use that to get into the foot. fight the Beastman. An upgraded Ratcatcher is behind it, so he can brainwash anything that's an animal. Deadshot thought he was cool with Ratcatcher, but he treated Ratcatcher like shit. Which, they changed the animation style for the flashback. I'm not sure how much I like it. Like, I feel like it was trying to go for, like, a comic book feel, but I don't feel like it... I don't know, something was off about it to me. Like, it didn't look bad, but it didn't feel right. That makes any sense whatsoever. And then a fly breaks out. Clayface uses his clay powers to save the day by accidentally destroys the foe. Katana saves Ratcatcher from death. This episode's fine. It's just, again, it's the pacing, man. Like, this episode is actually just fine in general. I don't think the pacing is too bad with this. But combined with what happens in episode 4, I feel like you could have easily combined episode 3 and episode 4 together. Speaking of which, episode 4. Holly's thinking back on Joko telling her how to hunt rats, but it's cut off. The gang is in jail again, which is a cycle. They let the squad out to go back to jail. That happened so much throughout this series. I don't know if that's supposed to be a joke, but I was sick of it. I got sick of it. Because it felt like we're not progressing. I mean, things are happening to progress, like deaths. But, like, it doesn't feel like we're progressing because the squad keeps ending back where they are. And it doesn't help, too. For example, if this episode gets to it, we always go back to that damn vote. And again, well, you had to fight over locations a lot. But it makes to feel that we got to another world, but it also feels extremely small. And sure, you can argue that usually there's a home base, which is the castle. It's different from a whole base. It's just like, we always have a foe fighting. And which again makes this whole another world thing feel so small than it should be. Because that's the premise, take Suicide Squad into a different world. Holly says that the princess is like her old self, and Holly dislikes that because... But Harleen Quinzel is a weakling! The queen summons the gang, but the princess is thinking back to when she had friends. And then one of them died because they tried to get food from the social camp and they shot him in the face. Isn't that lovely? There's an army of Beastmen hanging towards the foe. Holly got the idea to use, like, the prisoners from the earlier episode to force Ratcatcher in the open. Clayface set up, like, some barriers. Ratcatcher shows up, but Deadshot destroys his mind control staff. The Beastmen kill Ratcatcher, which I'm sure, if it was Battle of the Whale, she would love to be surrounded by the Beastmen like that. Not the death part, she probably doesn't want to die like that, but, you know, just being surrounded by the Beastman. We give the rest of a flashback of Joker playing gang members against each other that were after him to kill each other. The squad goes to the game to go reset the bombs. The Queen is upset by the squad's success. I do not like this episode. I feel like they can easily have combined episode 4 and 3. Why I say that especially is because... like, the squad does nothing. They go like, well, we're not gonna help you with Ratcatcher. Like, they knew Deadshot had it. And he shoots, and he's being, you know... But I feel like it would have been much more interesting if we combined the 2 episodes into one. To make it feel more fleshed out. Especially episode 4. Episode 4 feels empty and hollow in comparison. Because it feels like it's stalling. Scarlett Johansson's character in SpongeBob the movie. I forgot what the woman's name is, but that's Scarlett Johansson. Episode 5, the bombs get reset. They don't take the bombs seriously in this show. Like, they keep mentioning them, but it doesn't feel like a threat. It still doesn't feel like a threat. Which, that's for one thing that the Suicide Squad should feel, is that the bombs are indeed a fucking threat. But that's for one thing you shouldn't get wrong. But anyways, we definitely touch on that in a bit more in a little. We get a montage of a squad fighting for the kingdom. The squad's running out of bullets. The squad goes to the first squad's shop to get more bullets. They end up back at the fort and they have a dinner party with the prisoners. My point, they always go back to the fort. Which, here it makes kind of sense. Holly gets a frying pan.
Hey, I know. I'll use my trusty frying pan as a drying pan.
because she goes like fine prints of ultimate weapon. A dragon made a nest in the chopper. The dragon attacks after Crayface tries to win it over. Dodge is the name of the game. The dragon has King Chalk in his mouth, so Deadshot uses his last bullet, but that didn't work. But then maybe the dragon just fireball a King Chalk out of his mouth. Holly uses her flying pan to redirect the fireball. Flack grabbed a radio while no one was looking. In the chopper, Holly gives Deadshot an RPG to fire at the dragon as Peacemaker uses its egg to distract it. The dragon is down. Egg hatched in Holly's arms, and she named it Awful, whatever as a reference to King Awful, the Joker, 2019 film. I don't know, but it works either way. Waller wants the first squad dead. Everyone on the foot is dead. This episode's fine. Honestly, them fighting a dragon feels like something that could happen in the DC universe. It doesn't feel like something as an Isekai thing. Again, I know I keep bringing it up, but again, that's why I feel like the Isekai ideal to get people into anime kind of doesn't work. Because a lot of this can happen in the DC universe. So maybe, again, maybe if they tried something different, it could have worked a lot better. Episode 6. The squad jumps in to fight the elves that killed everyone. The intent twists and the thinker of the villains behind this. Too bad the thinker's just Ratcatcher. I can't think of. I have a vast characters in the DC universe. Two people with completely different power sets? Really? The thinker can brain control fucking anything. We both have to use objects for the brain control, but still, he's just Ratcatcher. But better. It's lame. Lame! And the point is, two entrenches. Guess what her power is? Fucking magic! And plus two, seeing two characters with similar power set, but one is clearly better.
Said each member of the team is chosen for their unique abilities. He does exactly what I do, but better.
It doesn't help getting people engaged in the DC world. You should have picked, again, like not any of, I don't think Condiment Man, actually, that's a joke, yes, but like, I don't think Condiment Man will win most people over. But, you know, pick, like, anyone. I don't know, like, there's so many people to pick from. I think you'd be good with picking, I don't know, like, a person of Ivy, a Killer Frost, like, something. Entrenchers, drop quizzes down so that the bad guys can like see the squad from all over the place. First feels in mind control are a bitch. King Shark gets thrown into a lake that has Killer Croc and a Leviathan in, which by the way looks more like a giant squid to me. But I guess Leviathan just refers to a giant sea monster. I'm not sure if it has to be a serpent or not, but besides the point. King Shark is outmatched. Thinker made Clayface, Peacemaker, and Deadshot face the worst feels. I wish we had a bit more focus on that to get some character depth. Peacemaker's worst nightmare is fearing his mission for peace. Clayface is like bombing in front of an audience. And Deadshot is his daughter finding out that he kills people. Again, more depth though would be nice to analyze these characters and get some growth maybe. But no, we can't have that. We can't have that. We must have the surface level characters. Clayface, Peacemaker, and Deadshot get shot. Enchantress is the villain that they want to seem. It has more than meets the eye to them. King Charles being Flack gets the bad guys to retreat thanks to him faking still have control over their bombs. It seems Enchantress stop for bullets for King, Peacemaker, and Deadshot, and I don't think it matters for Clayface because he's made out of clay. The gang is back in jail. The Queen wants to hang the squad to send a message to her troops to don't fuck up. The princess feels like she can't trust her mom because she feels that her mom's hatred for the squad, which they don't explode. I mean, they do give an explanation for it, but no one bothers to ask the Queen why doing this. It's just like, insolence! How dare you question me if someone does? Which, I guess that's what a queen does. Sia lets the squad go so they can prove their worth of the kingdom and save the day, win the world. The Finger forms a base around the gate. This episode's fine. Like, they have two, like, lose moments, and I feel like you only need one. Especially in 10 episode season. Whatever one, it doesn't matter. I don't think you can maybe combine the two into like one moment. But besides, actually you could. Now that I'm thinking about it. I mean, of course, when you're combining things, you have to change things around a bit. But I feel like you can ultimately have like the ultimate like downfall of the squad instead of separating it into like two separate moments. So moving on to episode 7. Harley's thinking about the time she and the Joker wrapped an impossible to rob bank. Katana and the Thinker of the Ones at the base of the army of brainwashed elves. Harley and Peacemaker come up with a plan. King Chalk would take Clayface to the fortress. Flag leads the elves to a hunt on the lake, as Deadshot keeps track of everyone. Clayface pretends to be the Thinker to distract Katana. King Chalk kidnaps an elf so Peacemaker can torture him, as all elves feel all connected, but then wasn't the case in episode 6. Well, Harley makes her to the base, like gets herself food to the base, I guess would be the better phrasing, as King Chalk and Flag deal with the outside elves. Harley found the Thinker and they got into a fight, and she's having a hard time laying a hit. Harley got hit in the head on purpose so the Thinker can read her movements. When the Thinker dives deeper into Harley's mind, Harley overpowers him. The mind control stops for the elves and the base falls apart. Katana kills the Thinker for failing and beats Clayface. Harley and Katana fight. Clayface becomes Harley's soul. Katana retreats with a finger cap as the others show up. The Queen is upset that the squad won and wants them at the castle. This episode again is fine. Like, I don't think this is probably the only episode with nothing that I think you can tie it up. This is probably the most perfectly paced episode of the show by far. And the Finger's not a enjoyable villain, to be honest. He doesn't feel any different from the squad. Egotistical, badmouths everyone. Just feels more generic mush. Again, it doesn't help that he basically shows powers for Ratcatcher in this adaptation of these characters. So, well, a better version of Ratcatcher. So it's hard for both of those characters to stand out based on that premise alone. But moving on to episode 8. The Queen wants one of her men to do something for her. The squad arrives at the castle. The squad and the Queen's man from before got into a fight until he hits Harley and got King Chalk. King Chalk ate Theo's son. Harley knows that the Queen put up the now dead man, now Chalk food man, up to fucking around and finding out. King Chalk would be executed. The princess tries to say sorry, but Harley turns the apology down and says, hey, you can be mommy's puppet forever. The squad gets drunk and have a bar fight. During this, Clayface gets the Terminator reference in. I'll be back! That's the scene he does with a thumbs up. Well, I mean, he doesn't say that there, but like it's like the thumbs up being melted in. He's trying to pass women at the bar. He's like, look at me! I was the governor of California! You don't know where that is, but I was there! Woo! I was the ruler of a land! Be impressed! And also, Harley reveals that she's still a gem for a magical armor way out of her castle during the scene. The squad leaves the bar to reset the bombs. Harley leaves Arthur behind because she's afraid for his safety in her world. Wallace sees the mission as a failure and blows up Clayface bomb. Flag got Ward to continue the mission due to the kingdom being under attack, and they could use that to rebuild a relationship. If it fails, the squad dies and Flag will have no home to return to. Clayface is fine because he's Clay! Which, I hate this. I hate this a lot. The play off as like a joke. But, again, the one thing you want to do is make sure that the bombs are a threat. And you make it into a joke. Hey, Amanda Waller look fucking stupid. Because why would she put a bomb and someone with a bomb doesn't take effect on? It makes her seem incompetent. But it's, again, adaptations you can make, like, you know, you can do a lot of things with different characters. But the show wants you to seem Amanda Waller seem competent. She's competent, like, every adaptation I've seen. Sometimes her ambition backfires on her. But like, she is a very competent person. And it's like, no fucking shit before Scar got away from home. And she's putting bombs to people that don't work on. God, it's dumb. And it's like, oh, they don't want to kill one of the squad members for slaying the game. Fine. then don't fucking do it. I'm sorry. You got a whole squad of people you can set those bombs off, but if the bombs don't work, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, then the episode ends with the princess seeing that the queen is fake. Which I don't like that twist for one specific reason, which we'll get into next episode, but again, this is just stuff we've seen kind of before. The squad gets arrested, banished. But like, I feel like you could, again, time this shit up a bit. Like, you can have the squad get arrested once and then banished once. Not this continuous cycle thing. Yeah, again, don't fuck with the bombs like that. Just don't fuck with the bombs like that. Episode 9. Some of the knights have been brainwashed due to one of the queen's men using the Thinker's thinking cap.
Put on your thinking caps. It's time to think, thunk.
Due to the queen's holes. The weird queen has been dead for however long. Fake queen needs more death to get more power. The princess tries to kill the fake queen, but fails. The only thing that can kill the fake queen is the sword in King Shark's belly. Theo says the princess, the fake queen, is the undead king. So the princess looks like Holly to be like a metaphor for growth and like, yeah, getting that back, but letting loose, being free. But it doesn't work because the person that the princess is afraid of, her mom, she just wants to stand up to her mom. Guess what her mom's been the whole time? Dead. It doesn't work. Like, you can say, oh, sure, she's rebelling. But it doesn't work as well as it should. Because mommy is dead. She's in Disneyland right now. Where all the other dead parents. It feels like they were so close to it. But they had to post some shit to explain why the queen didn't like the squad. And go, well, she's for undead king, wants death, needs for death, so she has this forever war going on. But, like, show explains that, whatever. But, again, it feels like at the cost of a princess's arc, because mommy isn't real. Well, she is real, but kicked for bucket. But the undead king raises the dead. The princess tells the people to come to the castle of safety. Killer Croc and Leviathan kneel her, but King Shark is a shark and steps in. The rest of the squad shows up. Deadshot goes zombie hunting. And Trentis is fighting Holly. CS is going to help Deadshot. Peacemaker goes to help King Shark. Clayface and Flag fight Katana. King Shark lost, but Peacemaker goes America. Fuck yeah! And Jones said, I appreciated that. That made me laugh. He goes like, America, motherfuckers. I'm like, yes! America! Katana runs away after being Clayface. Awful is back and one hell of a growth spurt. Holly uses the gem, but she's stowed to pile up her gun with magic. Siesta saves Deadshot when wearing the legendary armor. The undead king is holding the real body of Enchantress hostage, and that's why Katana wanted to show Clayface and Flag. This episode is fine. Again, what I tries to do to grow over Princess as a character doesn't work for me. And show the final battle, you gotta start it, which is, again, that's perfectly fine and understandable. Moving on to the final episode, episode 10. Clayface and Flag got Enchantress' body and are hanging on walks and stuff accidentally, but with fucking Looney Tunes side effects. Why do these shows have to do Looney Tunes references to find a battle? I'm looking at you. I'm for season 1 with your duck season, rabbit season routine with Kaiba and Waf.
Kyber season!
It's not, and that's also a WB property. Like, I'm not sure if Omniverse is currently on Max because Max keeps removing things. Coincidence? Yes, but it's one hell of a one. If I had a nickel, but each show on Max that's supposed to have a serious moment that has Looney Tunes sound effects, don't ever find a fight, I would have 2 nickels. Not a whole lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. And it seems like Enchantress is also mad at the Looney Tunes shenanigans because she feels what her body feels. So if it gets hit, she feels the pain. Katana saves Flag and Clayface from a skeleton dragon. Peacemaker handled the Leviathan. Killer Croc calls the Leviathan weak, so the Leviathan ate him. So it's not like we knew anything about Killer Croc. He was boring and generic, and I actually really didn't like his design. But moving along, King Shark thinks he isn't needed due to being weak, but Peacemaker puts that to rest with a joke, and I don't think that joke works, because he goes like, I need you to get across the wall, because that takes up too much energy. And again, that's a character moment right there, and they don't take it. The injured Seth gives Deadshot a piece of his armor, and Deadshot transforms. Clayface is rolling with a Chance's body to get it back to him. The Undead King uses her staff to eat her arm off to make the undead stronger. Seems like one hell of a gamble, but hey, it is what it is. Deadshot gives the other squad members the armor, and they, parts of the armor, and they transform too. Which is the most anime thing about this anime, is one scene, and yeah, so it's about time, a little late! A good fight scene happens. The Undead King is too strong for the squad. The princess fake being Holly, so she could whip the sword out of King Shark's belly and kill the Undead King. I don't know why they had to swap for that or whatever, but hey, whatever, it worked. Waller wants the squad to stay in the other world to stop the Joker, who has been Katana the whole time. Joker's also the Emperor from the Empire, which is very interesting because those who don't know, Emperor Joker is the storyline of comics. It was a Superman story, really enough, but I feel like the first most notable part of that, comic book story, because Joker got his power, tricked Mr. Spin, to get 99% of his power, and basically had Batman die over and over again. And that was adapted into an episode of Batman Brave and the Bold, which is probably the only one of the few episodes I've seen of that show. But yes, it's very interesting that they're going that route since there's no current Batman, but doesn't mean they can't do something interesting with Emperor Joker without Batman. I'm just saying that interesting choice. And again, best hint set up season 2, which you could maybe fit that into this, but whatever. We can argue what can fit in what all day long. But this episode had a lot of frustrations. Pacing was shit. And I feel like this doesn't justify being an Isekai until one scene at the last episode, which, kind of defeats the point. Now the characters really stand out or have that strong of personalities is extremely one note because Holly, and they tried to do it with the princess, and I think that failed. I mean, Joker was kind of the most interesting character due to flashbacks, but we really didn't see him too much as Joker. But yeah, I think the Suicide Squad Isekai gets a 5 out of 10. So I'd like to thank you all for coming out. I hope you guys have a good day. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, give it a thumbs down. And subscribe for more For Us reviews. And I will see you all next time. Bye.